Looks like we're going to be a small but mighty group tonight. Come on in nice and close. Welcome back.
Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see you in the middle of the summer. I am very pleased that so many people made it out despite the heat. And it is exciting to see many of you here tonight in person, and hello out in internet land. I'm glad you're joining us as well. So we're going to begin our service on page 7 with Shalom Aleichem. Page 7, Shalom Aleichem.
All right. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeidchem, Tzeidchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We'll continue with Ma Tovu. With Hine Matov by Cantor Young.
Yes. And we've done this one before, so please join me whenever it feels right. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Let's try that again. Come on. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is to be together. Together is one in love, joy, and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. Kulanu biyachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov together. How good it is to be together. Together as one in love, joy, and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. Kulanu biyachad. Kulanu biyachad. We have to welcome in Diane King-Van, who is our choir director for the High Holidays, and tonight she is with us for instrumentalist, and she is just, as you will hear, so wonderful. So thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, now it falls to me to make a few opening announcements. Exits are clearly marked. Restrooms are out and to the right. Please turn off your phones. Humans deserve rest and phones deserve rest, and we deserve rest from our phones and vice versa. So if you have them, put them down for a nap. I believe that concludes my announcements. We'll continue with the candle blessing. It is my pleasure to call on Donna Raskin to light the candles for us. If it is your custom, please rise. We are on page 1 of your blue cedar ring.
I got the Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu bamitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to thank Diane King-Van and Kim. I had a very, very last-minute change to our evening's program. So we're going really off-roading together here. Okay, so this Shabbat is the Shabbat immediately preceding Tisha B'Av, the holiday when we remember that the world is not as perfect as we would like it to be, and there is work still to do to make it better. And there's a tradition, the Shabbat immediately preceding this holiday is maybe not the right term, but this Jewish ritual observance, to use a very old melody for Lecha Dodi. It's one of the oldest melodies that we have a musical history for, and it dates back at least 5 centuries, possibly as far as 8 centuries. It's very easy to learn. So I'm going to try to teach it to everyone because it repeats and repeats. It's medieval, so it's like monk chant. It goes around and around. And then we'll try it together, all of us together for Lecha Dodi. Are you willing to take this trip with me? Okay, we are going back in time to Germany, either after the Rhineland massacres of the First Crusade or a few centuries later, and this is the melody. So please repeat after me. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Now the trick, the first two parts together. Now all of us. Now I'll do. I promise if you don't have it yet, it repeats over and over and over again. You will get it. It's usually used for a song called Elit Zion on the holiday itself. So we're going to try that with Lecha Dodi, and Lecha Dodi lines up very nicely, as you'll see when I sing it for you now. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. And all the verses are exactly the same melody. I told you it's medieval, so it repeats. All right, we're going to do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. We are on page 18, a very good Jewish number. Okay, here we go. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Leshem ol tiferet v'litzchila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor habracha, Mirosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5, page 19. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orechu miori, Ori, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayech nigla. Likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Stand and face the back. Boi v'shalom atzeret bala, Gam besimcha u'v'sola, Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. May we all see a more beautiful, perfect, and repaired world ahead. You may be seated.
Amen.
We will continue now with Chatzi Kaddish on page 22. I'm going to call on Marcy Howard and Ellen Prince. Please, if it is your custom, you may rise, or if you follow the Sephardi, Hasidic, or conservative movement custom, you may remain seated. Page 22.
Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba.
Amen.
V'ama divrei chute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon u'vyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman karib. Vimru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbam Mevorach, Le'olam lo me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Kudusha,
Brichu.
Le'ela Mikol Bechata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata
Damiran bi'alma.
V'yimeru Amen.
Please remain standing for Baruch Hu on 23.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 la lai 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 la lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
We'll continue on 25. Please read with me in English in the middle of page 25 where it says blessed. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, who skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars and their heavenly courses according to plan. You are the creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from another. Adonai Tzavot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Umavir yom umevi laila, mavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai Tzavot shemo, el hai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravim. We'll continue on 27.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha avta, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadata, otanu lemadata. Adonai Eloheinu b'shofbenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha uv'mishpatecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla negei yomam v'layla v'ahavadcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 29, you may either stand or sit for Shema as is your custom. Page 29.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen, listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen, listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way, and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen, listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill, or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. close your eyes and listen. We're going to sing nice and strong now the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malichuto Leolam Vaed. Listen, listen to our God. Listen, listen to our God. Please be seated.
Page 31. Please join me. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, beshivtecha beveitecha, ubelechtecha baderech, ubishokbecha uvekumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam המזוזות ביתך ובהישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. We'll continue on 37 with Micha Mocha.
We're going to do the round again. We're going to get it perfect this time. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha ne'edar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei fele us. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha ne'edar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei fele, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha ne'edar b'kodesh. All right.
Malchutecha ruvanecha bokayam lifnei Moshe Miriam Moshe zeli anu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'neimar kifet Adonai et Yaakov v'glo mi'ad hazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
We'll continue with Hashkivenu on page 39. Page 39.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ushmor tzeitenu, uvoenu, lechayim shalom, me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'porei sukat shalom, aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael, v'yal Yerushalayim.
Please rise for Vishamru on page 41. Vishamru on 41.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam, berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, Oti leolam, ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat, Shabbat, vayinafash, Shabbat, Shabbat, vayinafash, Shabbat, Shabbat, vayinafash.
Please remain standing as we go into the Amidah, the standing prayer, which will start on 43, and then we'll continue together, and then you'll have a few moments for silent meditation.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that you are one.
Everyone is invited to continue silently from 43 through the end of the Amidah, or to use this time for meditation or improvisational prayer. Page 43 and onward.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech לכל השלום, שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. בכל ועיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בתוך עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. One more time. תשים לעולם. Beautiful.
We will now continue with the Mishaberach, the prayer for those who are in need of healing. So as I pass my hand in your direction, please say any names who are on your mind who are in need of healing. Helene Greenberg, Shirley Greenberg, and all those in our world without access to appropriate housing or health care. We'll continue on. Oh, yes.
Do we have a list?
We do not currently have a list, so we will figure out the list. We're going to join together on 63 in the middle for Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor habracha Liimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
As promised, for those of you who saw this on Instagram or Facebook, a sermon about cats. Some of you who've been in Zoom meetings with me, sorry, can everyone hear? Okay. And in cyberspace, I hope that the sound is okay. If it is not, please message us and we will attempt to adjust. So at home we have 2 cats. The younger cat, Simone, is a big tuxedo cat. She's 3. She's very playful. She'll only eat food that tastes like meat or fish. She will not eat vegan food off Daddy's plate. If Simone were a person, I like to think that she would love the works of Ayn Rand and Barry Goldwater, and that she would have voted for Ronald Reagan, and later the Bushes, and President Trump, and possibly Trump or DeSantis or whoever, we don't know, but that's her in a nutshell. She's 3. Josephine is 12. She's a gray-haired retiree. She enjoys naps in the sun, and if she were a person, she would play mahjong, she would read Lilith magazine, she would have gone to Brandeis, and she does eat the vegan food off my plate. And if she were a person, I like to think that she would drive a Prius with a Bernie Sanders 2016 sticker on it. That is to say, they have different opinions. When they're out in the yard, they're very vocal, the cats. They talk to each other, they meow a lot, and they're fairly confrontational. So I anthropomorphize, right? Meow, 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 meow. Social welfare programs make people dependent. Barry Goldwater would have voted against the COVID bailout. Meow. You're wrong. Plus, who cares about Hunter Biden's laptop? We need to focus on government interventions to regulate corporations to close the wealth gap. Oh, really? Isn't that a slippery slope to a totalitarian state? Free enterprise is the backbone of our country. Really? Meow, 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 meow. This goes on and on and on and on until the big raccoon that lives in the tree comes down and sits on the fence, and all of a sudden, meow, 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 they're side to side against a common enemy. For the cats, that enemy is a big angry raccoon. In this week's Torah portion, Devarim, the beginning of the book of Deuteronomy, the children of Israel have made it out of Egypt, got to Sinai, received the 10 Commandments, built a golden calf, were punished for doing that by wandering in the desert 40 years, and they're just about to get into the land, and Moses decides, one more thing, I'm going to give a farewell speech. It's like when you're walking out after services on the way to the car, and they're like, hey, Rabbi, one thing, one second. Now the entire book of Deuteronomy before you can leave. So that is the vibe. And Moses is trying to impart wisdom from having led this unruly, crazy, angry, complaining people through the desert and listening to them complain and on, and he wants to paint the picture of the people, of the tribes of Israel at their best. So that in future generations, when there are enormous existential challenges, we can draw on that wisdom of what it means for the tribes of Israel to be their best. Because sometimes problems are too big for any single one cat to fight off or any one faction to solve. Moses gives an example of the greatest victory that the tribes of Israel ever had against the terrifying, does anybody know? King Og of Bashan. King Og of Bashan, the Torah itself instructs us, was a king who ruled from the city of Ashtaroth, associated with Astarte or Isis. And according to the Torah, Og was the last descendant of a race of giants. Like the giant in Jack and the Beanstalk, the size grows as the story goes on. But according to the story that the Torah tells, he was very large. Try it again. He was very large.
How large was he?
Seriously, his childhood bed was 9 cubits long, and he was so heavy that it had to be made out of iron. Yes, seriously, that's recorded in the Torah. It's a terrible joke. You would think the authors would have done a better job. But Rashbam, Rabbi Samuel ben Meir, the grandson of Rashi, he's writing in the 12th century, fills in the backstory. So King Og was the last of a race of giants born from the mating of humans and angels back in the book of Genesis, before the flood. And he survives the flood because of his great size. When he was a kid, he was 18 feet tall, and like the fish that you caught on your last fishing trip, he gets larger with each telling historically. And by the time of the Talmud, we learn, and the Rashbam relates, that he was so tall that the floodwaters he survived the flood because the flood only came up to his ankles. He was very tall. In folklore, he is depicted as laughing at the destruction of humanity, standing next to the ark with Noah and laughing as humans drown trying to get on the ark. And he is often depicted riding, in Jewish folklore, he's depicted riding, does anyone know? It's a unicorn. So that is to say, he is not a real person. His unicorn is not a real unicorn. He is an example. Og is more than a single person. He's more than a king. He is a force of nature. He is an indiscriminate destroyer. He's very big. He's very strong. He's too big and strong for any one of the tribes to take on their own. In our text, Moses describes that the Israelite tribes were able to overcome this terrifying foe by suspending all of their internal squabbles and teaming up to face this world-ending, person-eating giant together. We are facing our own King Og of Bashan, our own giant angry raccoon, our own force of nature that is indiscriminately killing people. I haven't checked, but yes, I don't know if it's continuing, but as of yesterday, Phoenix, Arizona had been above 110 degrees for 21 days. Anyone who watched PBS NewsHour yesterday, anybody, saw that India was hit with awful flooding, and the Tigris and Euphrates, the rivers that were the cradle of civilization, are running low. This is leading to crop failures, and to mass migration based on these crop failures and water shortages that is destabilizing governments all over the world as they ask the question, when people are fleeing failing crops and dying livestock and coming to Italy, Greece, the United States, when they're coming here, what do we do with them? We are overwhelmed. Now is the moment that we must do what the Israelite tribes did when facing King Og of Bashan, or what my cats do when facing the giant raccoon. We have to suspend our differences and stand shoulder to shoulder so we can fix whatever you want to call it, global warming, global weirding, climate change, angry nature, whatever you want to call it. We are all staring, it's been blowing hot air in our faces for weeks. We can't ignore it. We can't pretend it's not happening. Our Torah teaches us at times like this, when the future of the Jewish people and the human race are threatened, each of the Israelite tribes, when they attacked King Og, the strength was not that they blended together, But some of them were good at throwing stones and slings, and some of them were good with spears, and some of them were good at digging under the walls of the town, and some of them were clergy, and they cheered everybody on as they did the social action or whatever. In today's terms, the tribes had different cultures, different ways of speaking, and I would say different political views. One tribe would be Democrats, one would be Republicans, one would be Libertarians, one would be Socialists, one would be Greens, one would be Peace and Freedom, and on, and one would be No Ticket, and on and on and on. The tribes of Israel were diverse in opinion and culture, and the Jewish people continue to be diverse in opinion and culture. For the tribes of Israel, that diversity was not a weakness. It was their core strength when facing this existential challenge of a giant who laughed at the destruction of humanity. Because there were people with different opinions, they could collaborate from multiple perspectives against King Og and attack from different angles. Their diversity was a strength and not a weakness. In more modern politics, President Abraham Lincoln, current politics by Jewish standards, famously founded what he called what was called the team of rivals, a cabinet of people with very diverse and sometimes antithetical political opinions, because he believed that in that diversity of opinions, in the lack of agreement, in the fighting, that was the strength. That diversity of opinions helped him sharpen his vision of where the country could go. So I'm asking you now, everyone here and everyone watching at home, all of us need to do something. Some of us will say we should lobby Congress to try to change policy to roll back carbon emissions. And some will say we should change our diets. And if that's what you feel, you should do that. And if some say we should change how we travel, you should do that. And some will believe that the best response to ensuring an inhabitable earth is by pressuring corporate leadership, because we vote with our dollars in the United States, as well as with our votes. And some will say that government is the answer. And I will say to all of you who hold all those diversity of opinions, like when you were taking the multiple choice test in high school, yes to all. We need all of you. We need every shade of Republican, Democrat, Green, Socialist, Peace and Freedom, No Ticket. We need everyone coming at this problem from all of your different angles. Because if we don't, the future looks bleak. But if we do, if we're able to harness the power of the diversity of opinions, the future may be bright indeed. Our own King Og, our own giant angry raccoon, to draw on my cats for inspiration, is spitting and sputtering and hissing in our faces. There are villages that are underwater now. Hundreds of people are dropping of heat when there are power outages and they can't get air conditioning. We need the full diversity of all of our points of view to create and coordinate a diversity of responses. We need a full court press. We cannot allow our collective survival to be a partisan issue. Just as the Jewish tribes collaborated across differences, and just as my cats set aside their political fights to team up for their own common defense, so too must we come together across party, across class, across dietary preferences, across everything, to join together to restore the balance of our ecosystem. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. We will continue with Aleinu on page 84. Please rise. 84.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך לכל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Seated. At this time, we remember those who have recently passed away, and we will remember those whose yard sites we are observing. I'll invite you to add names in a moment, and then you'll be invited to stand for Kaddish. This week, we mourn the recent passing of Morton Branson, father of our member Debbie Bogdanovic, and Esther Shapiro, mother of our member Brad Shapiro. We also mourn the loss of our longtime member Sue Trushansky. We continue to remember the parents of our members who passed away within this last year: Ruskin Berglund, Martin Cole, Dr. Leonard C. Feynman, Zita Gluskin, Leslie Heinel, Dorothy Eisen, Pauline Kaplan, Judy Kovach, Jacob Laserson, Celia Skolnick-Levine, and Miriam Wellickson. And the yard sites for this week: Abraham Angel, Charles Thomas Armstrong, Francis Frankie Bloom, Carolyn Chernin, Sylvia Cohen, Ethel Danto, Edith Davidson, Jamil Diwan, Paul Drotman, Mary Dunn, Shirley Einbund, Tobias Eliyahu, Solomon Fink, Berta Fink, Hori Fir Bakash, Hugo Goldschmidt, Alan Graber, Michael Carl Hoffman, Phyllis Ledeen, William Present Ledeen, Charlotte Levine, Charles Nadell, Manuel Manny Needle, Lloyd Raskin, Stephen Resnick, Vernit Rosenberg, Veronica Schwartz, Ellis Joseph Seligman, Rose Shanus, Leon Martin Silverstone, Lawrence Simmer, Nathan Summer, Ed Wax, Jacqueline Weiss, Dr. Jerome Weiss, Mary Williams, and Ida Wolfson. And if I have mispronounced a name, as it is still my third week, please pull me aside after services and let me know. If you have names, I invite you to add them at this time. Evelyn Rossner. If you are in mourning and not already standing, please rise. And now I ask you all to rise in support of those who are in mourning as we join together on page 73. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divrach irutei ve'amlich malchutei. Bechayachon uvyomechon uvchayei zechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv vimru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach elam olmei almaya. Yitzbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh. v'yitadad, v'yitalei, v'yitalal, shemei dukud shabrichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom.
Bimroma, Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Be'al Kol Yisrael, Be'al Kol
Yoshvei
Yoshvei
Tevel
Tevel,
v'imru.
V'imru.
Amen. You may be seated. So first of all, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is lovely to see you. As usual, thank you to all of you for making it out. It's a warm evening. Thank you to our guests. We hope you are enjoying yourselves. You feel that this is like an extension of your family living room space, and that you are comfortable and you will join us again in the future. And to our members, I will say, as I love to say, we are like PBS. Everything we do is thanks to your generosity, your support, and also all of the time that you put in, that you take aside from your week to be here on a Friday night, to prepare such beautiful music, to prepare halot, to make everything so wonderful. It is now my privilege to call on a board member who would like to lead us through the announcements. All right. Steve, the floor is yours. Announcements are just there.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Kim and Diane and Rabbi, for leading us in a beautiful service. Okay, so this is the announcement here. Okay, I'm clear. All right, join us for services tomorrow morning and a Kiddush luncheon. Details are found on the website. Services begin at 9:15. We are looking for greeters on Friday and Saturday services to help create a warm and welcoming environment. Look for your membership renewal packages, which are coming, and you should have received both in your mail and in your email inboxes. Mark your calendars for our annual summer celebration, Hot August Nights, which will be on August 19th with food, drinks, friends, and music. More information will be coming soon. We also have Drink and Paint with Friends on Tuesday, August 22nd at 7 p.m., where BE Sisters will host a painting and Prosecco. Keep your eye out for high holiday details, including services. Slashot and Tashlish will also be communicated. I also want to share my excitement for this Sunday morning. We'll be helping foster children pick out clothes in collaboration with Macy's. I think we've got close to 60 people participating, so it's going to be a wonderful event to help make the world a better place. So with that, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Oh, we have a...
I'd like to say one thing. Torah study precedes services.
Yes.
It starts at 9 o'clock on Zoom every Saturday.
Okay.
Torah study.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure everybody, if I heard that, I'm sure everybody heard it. Very good. Thank you. 9 o'clock, Torah study. On Zoom. Thank you.
One final word before, two more things before we continue. I'd like to make a special welcome to our new members, Sarah and Adam Shikovsky, Stephanie Wander, Robert Grossman, Sandy Gendel, and Steve Heckler. Welcome to the family. Speaking of family stuff, we have some halot that are going to be headed out to families and we ask if you are living near one of these places, that if you are willing to drop it off on the way, we have one headed towards Laguna Woods to Cantor Shula, who is recovering from an injured foot, I believe. So is anybody headed towards Laguna Woods, and would they be willing to make a special Shabbat delivery? Okay, this is for Cantor Shula. And we have a challah going to Mission Viejo to Via Sarasante, 92692. Anybody Mission Viejo? Mission Viejo?
Okay.
All right, Steve. All right, thank you both. Chalot are on their way to you if you're watching online. I hope you are hungry. Very good. I think we are now at Kiddush and Motzi. All right, page 75, Kiddush and Motzi.
Come down here. Anybody wants to come and join me, please do. Somebody want to come and hold the hello, these cutest little calls that you never did see. Bear, you want to come up here, Cole? Mom, you want to come up? My mom is in town visiting from Colorado. I'll have her come on up and join us too. Want to hold the wine, Mama? Go. All right. Hold it up there like you taught me, Mama. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'yahava u'bratzon hinhilanu, zicharon lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila, lemikra et kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava u'bratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh hashabbat l'chaim. All right. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. You're hired. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We're going to have one more song, O Yavo Shalom.
We will conclude with Od Yavo Shalom.
And my choir
Page
members and
77.
future choir members, Leslie, come on down. Hava, Ellen, you can come on too. Stephanie, come on. Marcy, who am I not seeing that you're in my choir? Come on, let's go. Ready? Hey-oh, 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 oh, hey-oh, 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 Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam, Salam, Salam, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Ha'olam, Salam, Shalom, again, Salam, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Ha'olam, Salam, Shalom, hey-yo, ready, go, hey-yo, 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 oh, oh, oh. Last time, hey oh, 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 oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh,
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Oneg is out that way.